Good morning, students. Our topic for today is about collaborations. So the basic definition of a collaboration is nothing but a society of things. So when I say things, it may be classes, interfaces, or a use cases, anything. When they are collaborated, grouped. Okay, so they are going to achieve some purpose which is bigger than the individual one. Yes or no? Group work, you can achieve a big task. Individually, each one may do a small task. So that is the meaning of a collaboration. Okay, and the graphical notation of a collaboration we have learned as dotted ellipse. So usually the collaboration, it will be like order management. So it's the high level view of abstraction where many things are collaborated in order to achieve that system. Okay, so that is what we see it as collaboration. So here internode messaging is given, but it would be more better when we are talking about collaborations like at a higher level. The example, if you take some management, college management and all. So just in order to achieve that at a higher level, so it need to be collaborated many things to achieve that. Okay, so that is what we are studying about the collaboration and the contents of this chapter. We are going to study about collaborations, realizations and interactions. And not only that, under common modeling techniques, we are going to study about realization of use cases, realization of an operation, mechanism and refining interactions. Okay, so let's see the textbook definition of collaboration. A collaboration is a society of classes, interfaces and other elements that work together. So they work together to provide some cooperative behavior, collaboration, which will very much arts. So each one will do a small work. Okay, and collaboratively, when every one will work, so then that will be a collaborative work. So when an event is conducted or some your batch is conducting some event in the college. Okay, so individually each one may take up one task, but overall it will comes as a collaborated work. Okay, so that's thing what we call it as collaboration, and graphically it is given as dotted ellipse, the name what we want. Okay, so as we had for the other chapters, so the first part of this chapter is about terms and concepts. Okay, so just now we have seen the definition of a collaboration, and it also specifies how an element like classifier means, you know, which have structural and behavioral parts, or an operation which can be realized by a set of classifiers and which have its major role in the specific scenario. Okay, so this is the textbook definition and explanation of it, and graphically how we are representing. So representation you have seen dotted ellipse, but whereas when you write the terms in words, so ellipse with dashed lines. So that is a terminology we give for a collaboration. Okay, so the first concept under terminology is about names. So why we give a name for anything uniquely identify. So same here also for collaboration, we give a name in order to distinguish it from the other collaborations, and also it have some unique name to identify. And a textual name is a string. Okay, so either it can be a simple name or a path name. So simple name is nothing but one or two words of textual string. A path name means where exactly that collaboration is present in which package, prefixed by scope resolution operator, and then we give where it lives and all. So that makes the path names. Okay, so the next one is about structure. See here, this chapter is somehow it's a indirect way. See, most of the time this collaborations is asked. So as the students don't know the details of this. So what they do, just like use cases, they write names and all. And the contents, collaboration diagrams, how they write? Dotted ellipse, many dotted ellipse, different names they give and they connect, which is wrong. Collaboration diagram is not that. Okay. So here, collaboration means it's the collaboration of any things in which comes under basic building blocks. And the collaboration, we are talking about its structure. So how coordinatedly they are working. So that coordination of working can be categorized into two aspects, two different things. So one is structural part and the second one is behavioral part. So here comes the structural diagrams and behavioral diagrams. Whenever we say structural part, that specify classes, interfaces and other elements that work together to carry out the named collaboration. Named collaboration means maybe order management. Okay, so for an order management, if you draw a class diagram, then it will be the structural part of the collaboration. If you draw object diagram, that is a structural part of the collaboration. If you draw component diagram, that is structural part of the collaboration. If you draw the deployment diagram, that is a structural part of the collaboration. So that means by now you might have understood that whenever we say structural part, any one of the static or structural diagrams, what we have, first two and last two. So any one diagram can be explained under structural part. Any one of the structural diagrams or static diagrams can be explained under structural part of collaborations. And whereas moving on to the second one, behavioral part. So it specifies the dynamic aspects. It specifies the dynamic aspects. So dynamic means what keeps on changing in course of time. They may not be static. Okay, which keeps on changing. That is what dynamic behavioral we say. Okay. So when we are talking about the behavioral part of a collaboration, so we can talk about any one of the behavioral diagram or dynamic diagrams. So as we have 5 diagrams under dynamic or behavioral diagrams, that is about use case diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, activity diagram and state chart diagram. So among these 5 behavioral diagrams, any one can be explained under behavioral part of the collaboration. Is this clear for everyone? Because most of the time this question is asked and 90% of the students, they do wrong here. If you are confident only, you need to attempt this. Is this clear? Structural part and behavioral part? See, we have learnt already. Indirectly, we have to write the diagrams here itself. One static diagram we have to write under structural part, one behavioral diagram under behavioral part of collaboration. You know what is a collaboration, right? So under that we are having 2 parts. And the first part, what all diagrams we get under this, and whichever you are confident with, that diagram you can explain. In behavioral part, 5 behavioral diagrams we have. Whichever behavioral diagram you are perfect with, you can write under behavioral part of the collaboration. It's done about the structure of collaborations. You need not drawing ellipses and all. It makes no sense and it's wrong. Okay. So here, for example, so web-based retail system. Web-based retail system. And here we are talking about the structural details of its parts. Structural details of its parts means any of the structural diagram, static diagram we are taking. So it's nothing but a class diagram. Okay. So in this example, structural details of its parts. So here we are taking about internode messaging might reveal the following set of classes and rendered in a class diagram. So in order to do the example given here, so let's web-based retail system. So for a retail system, a web-based application is developed for which what is the class diagram? So transport agent, queue, message, incoming queue and outgoing queue. So these are the classes identified. And once the class is identified, we need to give the attributes and operations for each and every class. Since already we have done our class diagrams in practical part. So by now everyone are perfect with class diagrams. Okay, so once we identify the classes and give their attributes and operations, then we need to relate them using relationships. Okay, so since incoming queue and outgoing queue are the types or parts under queue, so we give generalization. And the queue class is the one which is depending on the messages. If the messages are in queue, so then these are the messages which are going to be in the queue, right? So that is what we are going to connect, dependency. Okay, and transport agent, in order to send messages, so it is using the mailboxes which are available in the queue. And here the message. What is the message? ID, header, body. Okay, so what are the details of a mail when you send? So those are the properties of that message. Okay, and the mailbox. So transport agent, many transport agents can have many mailboxes. And a transport agent, one transport agent can send many messages. Okay, and this transport agent can be develop or broaden its business by using an I distributed interface. Okay, so among all its sub branches or main branches or whatever, wherever they want to implement that web based application, so they develop an interface. The interface will be provided wherein all its groups will start using that. Okay, so that is about the structural details of the web-based retail system. Web-based retail system. And then moving on to behavioral aspects. So here please concentrate on what exactly I was telling you till now. So where the structural part of the collaboration is typically rendered using a class diagram. So it would be almost better if you follow the same textbook terminology when you're writing in the examination. So under structural aspects, you write a class diagram only. But as we know the subject in detail, so structural part means any structural diagram can be written, but it's better to go along with the contents what is given in the textbook. Maybe some evaluators, they just go however it is there in the textbook, not the subject wise. Okay, so it would be better. And the behavioral part of the collaboration is typically rendered using an interaction diagram. So I told you behavioral parts means any behavioral diagram will serve the purpose of behavioral part of a collaboration. Okay, so if the same thing, same example is taken for the behavioral part of the collaboration, so you can just see here behavioral aspects of the collaboration. So behavioral aspects of the collaboration, and what type of diagram is this? Yes, anyone? What is this diagram? Name it.
Dog headed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, what kind of diagram it is? What is the diagram? It is among 9. You have objects along the x-axis, lifelines on y-axis. You have focus of control, and the messages are given in time ordering. I told you everything except the diagram name. And this we have done already. And tomorrow we will see the practical part of this. I expect at least one of you to answer what diagram is this. Yes, ma'am. No one? Yes, for attendance sake, your presence is here, right? You're not at all concentrating. Sequence diagram, many times I told you. Since objects and sending messages. So at least if I would have said at interaction diagram. Interaction is done between the message objects. And messages are sent from one object to the other. And if it is with respect to time ordering of messages in the lifetime, and wherever it is active, that is what we call is the focus of control. Such diagram we call it as sequence diagram. Why? Because messages are sequentially given according to the time how they have sent. So that's why this diagram is called sequence diagram. Okay, so let's see the scenario here. So web-based application for retail system. So first actor. So actor is sending a message, creating a message and adding some message to the queue. Okay, and whatever the message this transport agent people receive, once that is done, or if they can serve that query, so they'll acknowledge, otherwise they just remove the message. Okay, so this is about the behavioral aspects of collaboration. Okay, so again I repeat, under structure of collaboration, don't write ellipse, different dotted ellipses saying as collaborations, naming them and connecting them using relationships. If an evaluator sees that, total impression of that paper will be lost, I'm telling you. It's not the thing. Collaboration means it's a collaborative work. Collaborative work either you can show in the structural aspects or behavioral aspects. Structural means class diagram. Behavioral means any one of the behavioral diagram they are given here as sequence diagram. Okay. So then moving on to the next one. So that is organizing collaborations. So here we can talk about organizing collaborations. So organization of collaborations means, say, order management. When exactly it is realized? Using what use case it is realized? Okay. So such things we can talk under organizing collaborations. So the first one, there is a relationship between a collaboration and the thing it realizes. So what do you mean by realization? Can anyone say what is realization? When an abstract method is depending on some code of a class or a component and implementing its service, then we say that interface is realized through using a class. So similarly here, when we are talking about a collaboration, so how that collaboration is realized? So I'll tell you an example, order management. Okay, so that collaboration of order management system, everything they have developed. If no customer is ordering a product, then what does that mean? It is idle. No activities are going on. But when they get some order, that means that order management collaboration is realized. Realized means it's used. Using that their requirement is fulfilled. Okay, so that is the term when we use realization. And moving on to the second one, there is a relationship among collaboration. Yes, using collaborations also, how we had the relationship among two classes, two use cases, two components, two nodes. So similarly, we have the relationships among two collaboration. Okay, if you see here, order management. So order management is one collaboration. Okay, it's high level of abstraction we are talking. So there are many things which are there within this order management, all the sub works. At a higher level, we are talking it as collaboration, group, as a group of work, it is order management. And here order validation. So in order to validate an order also, so there are many subtasks which are involved to do this main task. So such thing we call it as a collaboration. Okay. And if we see the relationship between these two, the order management is depending on order validation. See, this is a system. This is the entire your project what you have developed. But within that project, so first we need to check on order validation. If somebody is giving a request for a particular order, whether that order is valid or not, maybe it is a duplicate. So all that validations it need to be done. So that's why it is depending on this. And not only that, order management is realized through place order. So realized through place order means by getting a place order only, the system will start working. See, though you have the software tool for order management and having all the things ready, but if you don't get an order for a particular product, so all the existence of the software what you have developed, it won't work. It will be in idle state. Okay, so this is order management is realized through place order. Similarly, college is realized through students. Okay, so that is how we can say their requirement as though the requirement of the external actor which he places the order. So they approach the order management. In turn, they are going to serve that service to them. But without this won't exist. Without students, college won't exist. Without getting an order for a product, order management won't exist. Without a customer, an ATM doesn't exist. If without a customer who uses ATM, so ATM machine no use. Okay, so it's something like that. What we call, if from the management order management side we say realization, and from the place order side we say the requirement is going to be fulfilled by this management. So that is how we call it about organizing collaborations. Okay, so this is the first part of the chapter, and then moving on to the second part. So that is about common modeling techniques. Common modeling techniques. Okay, so the first one we have modeling the realization of use cases. So here the example given is just like the previous one only. So in order to model the realization of a use case, so first we have to think of the structural elements which are sufficient to carry. And you organize these structural elements in the class diagram. And each should be an individual scenario. Individual scenario means scenario is nothing but a part of use case. Sequence of actions makes a use case. But each kind of such action we call it as a scenario. And dynamic of the scenarios we can show in the interaction diagrams. So whatever we have learned under terms and concepts, the same thing will be given here in order to model. Okay, so let's see an example here in order to model the realization of a use case. So here we are taking an example of use cases drawn from a credit card validation system. Credit card validation system. So here first we have order management, and order management can be realized through place order. And placing an order will include. See, when you want to place an order, card fraud will be before you place this, and valid transaction, it will be here itself. So that's why we say it as include. By doing this, detect card fraud and valid transaction can be carried forward. So okay, so that's why we are giving dependency and include. So without card fraud, so they cannot place order. Without doing valid transaction, they cannot do placing an order. And that is, placing an order is done by the customer. And finally, customer is going to get the bill, okay, for whatever the product he have ordered for. Okay. So this is the first common modeling technique. And moving on to the second common modeling technique is to model the implementation of an operation. Okay, or realization of an operation. So it's nothing but to model the implementation of an operation, what I was just discussing. Okay, so in order to perform the realization here, so here we are taking the active class as render frame. Okay, so ray trace is a collaboration which is depending on render operation of the render frame. Okay, so here we have an active class named as render frame, and this active class attributes are not given. Operations are set contents, render and progress. Okay, render means giving on to the render. So whatever the ray trace, whatever the information have to be given onto the output screen as some in form of some image or text or whatever. So this ray trace is going to be realized through this render. Okay, or using this ray trace can be implemented either way. Ray trace is realized through render, or render can be implemented using ray trace. Okay, so and this progress, so this progress operation is going to return the total number of polygons minus remaining by total polygons. So this is a formula. So this quantity it is going to return the quantity of whatever is there in the brackets, which is divided by total polygons. So this total value is going to return by this progress operation. Okay, so and then moving on to the next one, modeling a mechanism. So the third common modeling technique here is modeling a mechanism. So here a mechanism is nothing but a procedure. Okay, so a procedure, how to go about, how to follow the things. So that is what we call it as a mechanism. So in order to implement this, so no example here, only the theoretical part of this we study. To model a mechanism, so first we need to identify the major mechanisms that shape your system's architecture. What are the procedures you are thinking of? So all depending on your system architecture, which architecture you have taken to develop for your system. So all that have to be taken care, and based on that the mechanisms are driven by overall architecture style. Okay, and that can be implemented along with the style appropriate to your problem domain. Not only the architecture but also the problem domain. So based on this, so by identifying the system architecture and the style and the problem domain. So these are the first major things what we identify for a mechanism. And then what we do, represent each of these mechanisms as collaboration. So whatever the procedure you want to carry out as a collaborative work, so that we give it as an in a collaboration. And based on that collaboration, so we are going to give the structural and behavioral parts of each collaboration. So when we say structural, So it's about class diagrams, and behavioral, it's about sequence diagram. However, we have studied in the chapter, and the other details already I shared you. And validate these mechanisms early in the development cycle. So validation means, so based on what mechanisms you have analyzed, so they have to be developed, and they have to implement. And by giving the test cases and data sets, then only you can check how your mechanism is working, or any debugging, anything is there. So all that things will be carried out for the end users to use it. Okay, so these are the things what I wanted to cover today. So this is about collaborations topic. So as I told you already, so third unit topics are very small, okay, and they are important also. So this is all about collaborations.